I'm ready. Tell me when we're live.
And we are live.
Thank you very much. This is the June 8th, 2023 zoning administrator meeting. The Mendocino County zoning administrator meetings will be conducted in person at 860 North Bush Street, Ukiah, California 95482. Meetings are live streamed and available for viewing on the Mendocino County YouTube page. With that, I'll move to item number 1, which is calling the meeting to order. We'll call the meeting to order at 1:30 p.m. We have 3 items on the agenda. May I please get a determination of noticing?
All items on the agenda have been properly noticed.
Thank you. Okay, that moves us to the regular calendar, item 3A, which is U 2022-0013. The owner is Broadus LLC. The applicant is Bo Milner. The request is a minor use permit for retail dispensary cannabis facility in a general industrial zoning district. The project has been determined to be categorically exempt under CEQA, and the property is located at 1.5 miles, plus minus miles, west of the city of Willits, 0.7 miles west of the intersection of State Route 20 and Pepperwood Way, located at 1800 West Highway 20 in Willits. Assessor's parcel number 038-180-06. Please get a staff report.
Project planner Steven Schweitzer here. As mentioned, the applicant is requesting a retail dispensary cannabis facility. The subject parcel was formerly occupied by the Cutter Lumber Pallet Mill, and application materials convey an existing on-site office structure will be utilized for the said dispensary. Project referrals were sent out earlier in February of this year. Shortly after that time, our office received 2 notable comments. The first comment being from the Department of Transportation, noting that none of the designated access points off of State Route 20 on the subject parcel have an encroachment permit on file. Caltrans did recommend that the applicant secure an encroachment permit for the proposed access point that will be utilized for the project from State Route 20. Condition 14 addresses this recommendation. Another notable comment came from California Department of Fish and Wildlife that stated since there will be only interior modifications on the existing structure and no vegetation removal, CDFW had no additional comments or concerns regarding the proposed development. As for some of the key issues with the project, the staff report notes that application materials comply with county requirements as provided by County Code Chapters 2243 for cannabis facilities, as well as the subject parcel zoning and general plan designations. With regards to nuisances, application materials note that there will be an on-site consumption of cannabis projects pursuant to Mendocino County Code 2243-040-D, subsection 4 and C. On-site consumption of cannabis is permitted in outdoor areas for retailers or dispensaries such as patios or decks, and shall adhere to the provisions of Mendocino County Code Chapter 932 for smoking, pollution, and health protection. Staff is recommending condition of approval 12 to ensure compliance with these said county regulations. As previously noted, the project was determined to meet the criteria for a categorical exemption and is exempt from further environmental review. Staff is recommending approval of this minor use permit in accordance with the findings and subject to the conditions of approval contained in Exhibit A of the resolution. The applicant has been provided a staff report and made aware of these conditions of approval. I can entertain any further questions.
Thank you. Okay, do we have the applicant or the applicant's agent online?
Yes, we have Bo Milner.
All right, Mr. Milner, do you have anything you'd like to add to this hearing?
No, I do not. I feel that Steven's been very thorough with the process and been very happy with the recommendations that come back.
Okay, great, thank you. So now I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak on this matter? Seeing none, I'll return it back to the zoning administrator. I've gone ahead and reviewed all the evidence provided to me, which is contained within the staff report and resolution. So based on staff's recommendations, I'll go ahead and approve the project pursuant to the findings contained in the staff report as well as the conditions of approval. Okay, that takes us to item 3B, which is an administrative permit 2022-0004. The owner is Douglas Raffinelli. Applicant is Ian Laidlaw. Agent is Patrick Sellers. This is an administrative permit to allow an existing permitted 5,000 square foot mixed light cannabis cultivation operation to increase to 10,000 square feet, changing from permit type 1B to a 2B on a parcel less than 10 acres. The project has been determined to be categorically exempt from CEQA. Project is located 1.9 plus minus miles east of Redwood Valley Town Center on the west side of Webb Ranch Road, 0.5 plus minus miles northeast of its intersection with Colony Drive, located at 2900 Webb Ranch Road, Redwood Valley, Assessor's Parcel number 161-28005. May I please get a staff report? So I see it's Rob Fitzsimmons.
Mhm.
Do we know if he's coming in?
Go
All right,
check.
so we'll pause momentarily and see if our staff planner is available. So may I please get a staff report?
Sure. So this is AP 2022-0004, an administrative permit to allow an existing 5,000 square foot cannabis cultivation, a mixed light cannabis cultivation operation to increase to 10,000 square feet on a parcel less than 10 acres in size, which is what requires the administrative permit. This is a 7.8, more or less, acre parcel in the rural residential zoning district with a 10-acre minimum. And it currently has AG 2017-0320, a 1B mixed light cannabis cultivation permit. And actually, I believe as of a week or two ago, that should be a different prefix. It is, I want to say, CAN-C is the new prefix, but the number is the same. That is still under review, and the Mendocino Cannabis Department did not take any issue with us approving this administrative permit. They just wanted to make sure that the applicant was aware that they would need to modify their cultivation permit with the Cannabis Department to make it a 10-acre or 10,000 square foot cultivation. Staff was able to make all of the required findings. And the recommended conditions essentially are just emphasizing what would already be required. The requirement that the generator not be allowed as a primary source of power, all necessary permits be issued. These are all requirements that are in 1017 or 2242. These are just basically being included to inform the applicant.
Okay, great. Anything else?
No,
Okay.
unless there are questions.
All right. So do we have the applicant online?
We do not have any applicant, owner, or agent online.
All right, so at this point, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Is there anybody that wishes to speak on this matter? Do we have anybody in the waiting room?
Nobody in the waiting room.
All right, so I'm going to return this back to the zoning administrator. And based on the conditions contained in the staff report, as well as the findings contained in the resolution, I'll go ahead and approve the project. Yes?
Just before you do that, I do want to make one point of clarification. There is a section in the staff report on water usage that refers to a drought ordinance. That drought ordinance is no longer in effect. The analysis didn't result in any additional conditions, so it doesn't actually affect the approval or the conditions. I just wanted to clarify
Okay.
that point.
So it really isn't applicable?
Correct.
Okay.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. All right, perfect. All right, so like I said, based on the evidence and information presented, I will go ahead and find that this project is categorically exempt under CEQA and act to approve the project subject to the conditions and findings contained in the staff report. Okay, thank you. Okay, and that moves us to the next item. Which is U 2017-0007. The owner is Ghulam Mortaza Ansari, and the agent is Lawrence Mitchell. The request is a use permit revocation request pursuant to Mendocino County Code Section 20.196-055A2. The applicant has failed to complete conditions 27, 28, 29, and the Mendocino County Department of Transportation will no longer provide an extension to complete the required work. Thus, the project is in violation of said condition. The project was determined to be categorically exempt, and this is located outside the city limits of Ukiah, 1.7 miles south of city center, lying on the west side of South State Street and north of Jefferson Lane. Address is 1550 South State Street, assessor's parcel number 003-430-55 and 003-430-60. Now please get a staff report.
Sure. Excuse me. Senior Planner Vandy Vandewater. As you mentioned, this is use permit U 2017-0007. To provide a brief history of the permit, the original application was submitted in May of 2017 to establish a gas station on South State Street. The permit was approved at the December 2017 zoning administrator hearing with the conditions of approval. In April of 2021, the applicant was seeking to finalize their permit in all conditions. However, conditions number 27, 28, 29 were outstanding. Therefore, staff reached out to DOT, who provided a 2-year extension to the applicant, which would have brought the date that these conditions need to be completed to April of 2023, this year. In April of this year, DOT reached out to the planning division and notified them that the conditions had not been completed and requested that the appropriate action be taken on this permit. Therefore, staff scheduled this project for a revocation due to the failure to complete conditions 27, 28, and 29. However, the applicant and DOT have been able to work out an agreement, and therefore staff is requesting a continuance to the September 2023 zoning administrator hearing to allow time for the applicant to complete their conditions. This has been discussed with both DOT and the applicant, and both are satisfied with this compromise at this time. And I'm available for any questions. Additionally, I have Jason Wise from DOT available for questions as well.
Do we have a specific date for the September meeting?
September 14th.
September 14th.
And just a further note, for the record, I did speak with the applicant earlier today. He's unlikely to attend the meeting because he is satisfied with a continuance to the September zoning administrator hearing.
So we're looking at September 14th. Continue to, okay. There's 3 outstanding conditions. The issue, if memory serves me correctly, and then looking at the staff report, 27 is the applicant shall construct an ADA compliant sidewalk, curbs, and gutters adjacent to the parcel along both South State Street and Jefferson. The applicant shall construct a driveway approach at each connection to the county roads, and the applicant shall construct valley gutters. So it's my understanding that none of these were done?
So the improvements along South State Street were completed. However, the improvements along Jefferson Street were not. And those are where DOT has their issue, is that the Jefferson Street improvements have not been completed at this time.
Okay. I will go ahead and continue it, but before I do so, I guess one of the questions is, what do we do if this thing can't be resolved by September?
Well, the use permit would be revoked and their business license to operate the gas station would also be null and void because the use permit would have been revoked. They do also have a market at that address as well, and the business license does allow them, as well as the zoning does allow them to operate the market. If they intended to reestablish the gas station, they would have to go through a use permit process from scratch or from the beginning.
So in essence, the gas station would have to cease, but the market could still continue
Correct.
with the revocation going forward. Okay. All right. We don't have the applicant present. And so Jason, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, Vandy summed things up very succinctly. The applicant has a variety of reasons why he wasn't able to do it, but it seemed to me that after a couple of years, he kind of ran out of excuses. He says he will get it done before school starts in the fall. And I think that that's a good milestone for whether or not he will comply or not. If he doesn't do it by then yeah, we're just back into the same old cycle. So I think it's pretty fair.
Okay. Well, I guess this zoning administrator will look at it very carefully, and basically I think the message here is that the work needs to get done or it will be revoked on September 14th. So if Staff Planner Vandy, you can go ahead and communicate that to the applicant, that this is going to be continued until the 14th. The September 14th zoning administrator hearing, and we anticipate that all work will be completed by then, including securing all necessary encroachment permits from DOT to do said work. Otherwise, the next meeting that we have will be for the actual revocation.
Yes, I will communicate this discussion to the applicant after the meeting.
All right. So do we have anybody from the public online that wishes to speak on this matter?
We have no members of the public on Zoom.
All right, so I'll return it back to the zoning administrator. Staff, thank you very much for, the explanation and what's going on here. And so with that, I'll go ahead and continue it to September 14th, 2023.
Thank you, Z.A. Gonzalez.
Thank you. And with that, we move to matters from staff. Are there any matters from staff? Seeing none, we now move to item number 5, matters from the public. The zoning administrator welcomes participation in meetings. This item is limited to the matters under the jurisdiction of the zoning administrator and are not on the posted agenda, and items that have not already been considered by the zoning administrator. No action will be taken. But again, this is an opportunity for the public to speak under this item. I don't see anybody, so I'll return it back to the zoning administrator and move to item number 6, and I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 1:50 p.m. Thank you very much.